There's different types of ways that the thieves can tap the pipeline, but the most common way we're seeing at the moment are clamped and welded tapping points. On the table here with me, we have two types of clamped tapping points, one made out of plastic and one made out of metal. And actually, if you can see here, they've actually welded the tapping point on here, and this is what we talk about when we say a welded tap. These types of clamped tapping points are generally used up to 20-inch pipelines, because any bigger it's very hard to handle the clamp, and that's where we start seeing more commonly used welded tapping points. They both risk the integrity of the pipeline, which means there's an increased chance of leaks and, in worst case, ruptures, and of course that means it increases the risk of social, economic and environmental impacts. In Costa Rica, we've installed Atmos Wave and our TheftNet service, and through that combination we were actually able to detect and locate these tapping points here. Theft is a global problem now, and we do see similarities in the techniques used throughout the world. But a few years back we would be talking about isolated countries like Mexico, Nigeria, Iraq and Russia, but it's now a truly global problem with an estimated $133 billion stolen per year. In Nigeria they lose $18 billion per year, and in Mexico they lose $1.3 billion. And this is due to political, social, economic issues as well as organised crimes. Theft is common in Europe as well. We were able to detect and locate a tapping point using a combination of our Atmos Waveflow software and our Atmos Eclipse hardware. Through the use of these two methods, we were able to detect and locate the tapping point within 40 meters of the actual point. Around the world, it's proven that the best way to tackle theft detection is a multi-method approach. At Atmos, we have our Atmos Waveflow software that combines negative pressure wave with a flow balance system. The reason we've done this is that often thieves steal well below flow accuracy performance. So combine it with the negative pressure wave at a high sample rate, so 60 Hz or 60 samples a second, allows Atmos to detect very small changes in pressure associated with theft activity. So with an online LDS, we have to balance sensitivity with reliability. As thieves can often steal below 0.5% of the nominal flow, we have combined our online LDS solution with a TheftNet service. This combines Atmos trained engineers analysing the data offline to detect any potential small thefts that have been missed by the online leak detection system. Line walk is an important tactic for pipeline operators, but we're talking about theft reduction. So to reduce theft on pipelines, it needs to be a multi-method approach. We need to combine line walks with helicopter flyovers. Some operators use sniffer dogs, and we need to combine it with technology like our Atmos Waveflow software, Atmos Wave, our TheftNet service and available hardware. On top of that, we need to make sure that the pipeline operators have sufficient training so that they know what they're looking for in the data for when a leak or theft event occurs. The thieves' tactics are always changing, and as such we need to continue to improve our technology. So at Atmos we're always looking at new algorithms for our Atmos Wave and Waveflow software, as well as combining it with new hardware such as our Atmos Eclipse and Odin unit. By constantly improving our technology and hardware, we can create a more robust and reliable system for theft detection. Hardware is very important in helping detect thefts. We're starting to see a range of challenges that we are facing on pipelines, such as lack of instrumentation, lack of power, lack of communication, and lack of housing for our solution. So what we've done at Atmos is developed a range of new hardware. We've developed the first one, which is called the Atmos Eclipse. This is a complete non-intrusive solution that allows us to collect non-intrusive pressure, flow, and temperature, as well as collecting at a high sample rate at 60 samples a second. It allows us to use a range of communication options such as 3G and 4G, Ethernet, line of sight radio link, as well as being able to work with solar power. Now in some areas we've worked with, power and communication is a real issue, such as in very remote areas or high consequence areas. Here we can use the Atmos Odin. This is a battery powered pressure sensor that gets installed on the pipeline and can collect data for up to 21 days. The data is then taken off the device and then analysed by our expert engineers, and if there's any theft events in that data, it will then be reported to the customer to review. We've implemented this solution of the Atmos Odin in Africa and was successful in detecting a recent theft. If you need any further information or help on theft detection, please contact me or go to our website atmosite.com.